Hi guys, Tugger here with a new video, and this video will be a Mr. Pandaria classic Warlock, Destruction Warlock PvP video. It will be a BG, but also I'll be talking about Destruction Warlock and why I am choosing it as my main for Mr. Pandaria. First and foremost, Warlock is insanely fun, man. It's crazy fun. It has a lot of damage, which obviously you like it or not. That's like gameplay related, but there's a lot of things that you can look forward to whenever you're playing Warlock. First and foremost, Pyroclasm, super good for Chaos Bot, will be affected with Backdraft, and Chaos Bot is your big damaging ability with Shadowburn. Like those two are like one taps. If they're like low HP and you get a Chaos Bot into a Shadowburn, usually they are dead. And then you have Demonic Gateway. You finally have Gateway, so you have a portal, like a gateway where you can click and you would then move a lot of yards away, and you can go part back whenever they're charging into you, so you have a possibility to kite. What I also like is finally, also I forgot because I did change my talents, finally you have, never mind, I have it already on my boss. Finally what I have with Destruction Warlock is like huge damage on every single ability. Again, the scaling, I did get sounds. The scaling is a bit different, like in pre-patch. It is what it is. It's also very laggy here, I don't know why. But like my damage is really high, although it is pre-patch. Now I'm going to cut a few things here and there, just so I have the most performance possible. Alright, I'm going to instant stun him and then fear. What is good about Warlock is that you have a lot of instant CC. You have your Shadow Fury, you have your Hall of Terror, you have also your Blood Aura if you are like spec'd into it, and that's also a great thing. Now I want to maybe hit the backline because it's really annoying. So I'm going to try to hit the backline. I'm going to do a bit of immolates on everyone, just so I have like a bit of regeneration on the Burning Embers, and that's going to help me with doing my burst. Now I think I'm ready to do my burst right now, so I'm gonna do a Chaos Bolt. Unfortunately, we don't have Backdraft yet, but like he got imploded 52k Chaos Bolt, which is always going to be very nice if you want to destroy someone. Unfortunately, Fell Flame is not that good anymore. Well, it's good for instant damage, but it's not like it's not going to be that drastically good. They did do a hotfix, so now resilience is a lot higher. You have like a baseline of 55%, so you do, like if you compare it with yesterday, the damage is lower obviously because a lot of people are going to take 25% less damage, but 25% less damage whenever you did a 52k Chaos Bolt, it's actually a very big amount. And now with the buff, the change that they did to Honor, you have like 1 week and a half, pretty much, however long it is for the launch to launch, of insane amount of honor you will gain, because you have a buff if you're like if you are into a guild. You have honorable mention, which increases the honor points gained by 250%. So anyone you're going to do with Dolbarad, Winter Grasp, or BGs, you're going to gain a lot of that in that single pre-patch. Now it's going to be reverted once Miss Pandaria is going to come out, but I do believe like Miss Pandaria gains are a lot more healthy, so you would get a lot more honor points by doing BGs compared to Cataclysm. It's way simpler to get gear in Miss Pandaria. What I do like about like Destruction Warlock, like I said, survivability as well. You have your Ember Tap, so you are healing you 21% every single time, and you have your Mastery, which is also changed. So increases the damage of Immolate, Incinerate, Fell Flame, and Conflag, but also increases the effectiveness of Burning Ember consuming. So you see I have 21%. I think it is baseline. Now I'm gonna die because I'm not really paying attention. But like, I think it's baseline 15%. I think 15%, and you get like 40% increase. So I think it's like around, I don't know. I think it's like a bit less. I think you have 10%. I don't know. You need, it's 40%, so I guess it's 15% baseline, and you would get like 6% increased from the mastery. You are not going to go full mastery. You could go full mastery to get like the most value possible on your damage, but also on your ember taps. But that's something like you have to decide for yourself. I think haste is so good because you're casting a lot. That's just the truth. Now, is it going to engage onto me? I don't think so. But there are a few positives, right? What I like also about Destruction Warlock, and just Warlocks in general, you have a lot of talents that you can interchange whatever you want. Normally, most people are going to play with Dark Regeneration because it is a CD that is very powerful. But if you're Affliction Warlock and you're considering to drain life a lot and often, you could actually go Harvest Life and gain a lot of your HP back with just drain lifing. If you are a Destruction Warlock, most likely you're going to play Dark Regeneration every single time because Soul Edge is not that interesting, especially if you're trained. You're not going to have a lot of time where you're going to cast a lot and often. You have your Shadow Fury, Mortal Coil, which are like two valid options. You could also go for Demonic Breath. I personally don't like it because it doesn't do damage. Before you had the damage portion of it, and they made it into a talent where it is just purely a slow, which I don't like. It is a low CD though. Here you have three valid options like Dark Bargain, very good, especially in arenas. If you have a healer that is like CC'd, you could go for Dark Bargain and maybe he will like save your life because of that. Now I'm going to try to still play a bit. Double Conflag into Shadowburn, very big damage. Alright, I'm gonna fear you. Never mind, he kicked me. And since Shadow is on the Chaos Bot is on the school for Shadow, it is not as good. Now he's going to reflect onto me, I think. That sucks, but it's fine. Now I'm going to take up the flag. So what did I wanted to say? Yeah, so there is like three valid options. Soul Link, very good if you're playing with a pet. Sacrificial Pact, it is if you have no pet, it is interesting. And you can actually use it while you're stunned, so it is helpful. If I'm going to use it, I'm going to use it right now. It gives me 135k shield, which is like a big portion of my health. Like I think I have 170k, something like that. So it is more than 50%, even more actually. So it is going to be very noticeable. I'm going to fear him into a Shadowburn, into another Shadowburn whenever I'm like, no, never mind. Well, I'm about to die here because I have used my Sacrificial Pact to show you guys, and also I don't have healers behind me, but my damage is rather high. What is good is also like the options to swap depending on the comp you're playing, depending on if you're playing with a healer or not. I'd say Dark Bargain is good whenever you're playing with a healer. Whenever you're playing double DPS, you could play Sacrificial Pact. And I think in threes, where if you're Affliction Warlock and you're playing with your Grimoire of Supremacy instead of Grimoire of Sacrifice, you could play with Soul Link. It is very efficient as well. Here you have at 60, the two interesting options for PvP is Unbound Will, which is like literally a trinket. Like every minute you have a trinket, it purges all magic effects, so Hoshes are not a problem, even though you're most likely not going to get Hoshed if you have a healer with you. But like, imagine you have a magic effect onto you and you want to purge it, or you're rooted or whatever, or deep frozen, you can use Unbound Will and it will help you. If you're like facing like multiple physical damage dealers, you could actually go for Blood Hour, and that would also help you a lot because it will give you free CC and last for 1 minute. It has one charge, so if he doesn't hit you for like 1 minute, that's also a gain. They're going to hit you regardless. You're going to be very trainable. But it's interesting, right? I like that aspect of a Warlock. Then you have obviously your Grimoires, which are like some sweet touches. Like for example, I don't like to play with a pet in BGs, especially in BGs, because again my pet often like wanders away or just dies through like a warrior that just charges in and he just like two shots the pet, which can happen and will happen. And in general, I like to play like that with Destruction Warlock. While as an Affliction Warlock, I do like to have Grimoire of Supremacy because I like the improved pet, obviously. So yeah, there is also like the 90 talent, which is also quite nice, which is Arcane of Darkness, having double charge on Dark Soul. That's also quite nice. But as a Destruction Warlock, there is no way you're not playing with Kill Change and Scanning. I think being able to move while you're doing incinerates helps a lot. Especially if you can like fake cast. A lot of people are going to say, oh, he's moving, he cannot fake cast while moving. Well, if you are moving and you're fake casting, they're most likely going to waste their interrupt. So that's a way to be very mobile as well. Now I'm very like, I just want to be able to cast here. I'm gonna shadow burn him. Gives me also my burning ember as well, which is always going to be very efficient and very nice. Then you have Manoroth's Fury. I think it's more of a PvE talent. I usually don't use it. Yeah, I don't know how good it is. In PvP, I think it's just not really... there's no use case towards it, in my opinion. So yeah, I really believe, like, if you are looking into a caster and you really want to have a caster and you want to have fun in PvP, Warlock is really a good choice. Like, you have 2 great spec and a more niche spec, which is Demonology Warlock, but can be fun as well to play, especially like in 2s, where you can play double DPS. You're very sturdy as well, and you are like a CC machine as a Demonology Warlock. I do believe like there is a great place for you as a Warlock if you're hesitating for a caster. There are a few negatives. The truth is, you are going to be trained. If you don't like to get trained, it's not gonna change. You are going to be most likely one of the most best target possible, especially if you're playing versus a turbo. Turbo is going to love you. Like Enhancement Shaman Warrior is going to just rush into you and train you. Good thing is you have more ways to get away, especially with pillars and whatnot. You can have a demonic circle behind a pillar and then have like the gateway next to it, and if they're rushing into you, you gateway away. If they come back to you, you can TP away. It's really nice as well. And there are a lot of ways to enjoy. And what I find good about Destruction Warlock is you're very sturdy because you have Ember taps. It's not something, sometimes you don't want to spend it because you do lose the possibility to do a Chaos Bolt or maybe a Shadow Burn, but it's definitely worth it in my vision. I think having multiple schools of spells is also going to help you. Like if you're getting interrupted on Shadow, especially if you're like versus a warrior, he's not going to completely silence you out. So you could Chaos Bolt. He's going to kick you, you can incinerate, or you could like incinerate and he's going to kick you into it, or immolate in kicking you into it, and you could have a Chaos Bolt ready for sending when you feel like you can send. A few comps that you can play if you're playing with as a Destruction Warlock are, for example, playing double DPS. You can play with a Rogue, which is very efficient with the CC. He can like set you up pretty properly as well. You can play with a Boomy. You can play with a Mage. You can play even with a Destruction Warlock, with a Shadow Priest, excuse me. It will give you a lot of sustained damage. You see 50k, like that's disgusting damage as well. They can set you up with the CC. Like Shadow Priest is really good at that. Did we win? No, we are Horde. Unfortunately, we didn't win. It means that we didn't get too much honors, unfortunately. If you lose, you don't get a lot of honor. But that's one of the ways you can play in 2s. You can also play with a healer. I think Resto Druid Warlock is in fantastic form. You could also, in my eyes, you can also play with a priest, although the CC is a bit more limited because it's double fear. You can play with a mistweaver, that's also quite nice. If they're fist weaving, if they're a good fist weaver, you can actually do something as well with them. Holy Paladin, it's most likely going to help you whenever you're getting a buff versus a warrior. You have a few good comps, or Restoration Shaman with a Destruction Warlock is also one of the staples because they can both do very well, and they have great CC. You have a Hex, you have obviously the Capacitator Totem, you have Grounding Totem, which can help you if you're going to get silenced. At least the Grounding Totem is going to eat it, for example. There are a lot of ways to play Destruction Warlock. And then in 3s, I think one of the best comps in my eyes is playing with a melee, because it's very hard for the enemy to actually like chase you down while the melee is like doing his stuff, right? So I like playing with a warrior. So warrior, like arms warrior, obviously arms warrior with a destruction warlock with, let's say, a shaman, or let's say with a paladin, that can really work well. You could also play with a druid, obviously. There's also mage lock, which is one of the best comps as well, and then you have the staple comps, like for example elemental shaman with a destruction warlock, which usually they play with an affliction warlock, but they can also play with a destruction warlock. You could also play elemental shaman, excuse me, you can play boomy with a destruction warlock, and then with a shaman, like with a restoration shaman. So LSD and LSD2, pretty much those two comps are very good. And I would say Shadow Play is also a way to play the game, so you can play with Shadow Priest. In my eyes, Shadow Priest really goes well with a Affliction Warlock, but you can also make it work with a Destruction Warlock. So that's why, like, again, I'm very excited. Like, if you have played retail, and again, I think I have a lot of viewers that are like crossing between retail, classic, Mist of Pandaria. I do believe like you can find a lot of fun behind Destruction Warlock in Mist of Pandaria, because it is one of the better how it's called, designed classes. Because I think in retail, again, it's not thing I know, Incinerate just to do no damage. It's like purely filler. If you could spam Chaos Bolt all day, you would do. Mist of Pandaria as well, but Incinerate is still doing a lot of damage. And if you're getting kicked on Chaos Bolt, you can cast something else. While in retail, if you're getting kicked on Chaos Bolt, you're locked on everything. So yeah, I'm really enjoying the PvP aspect of Destruction Warlock. I think in PvE they're doing also pretty well. Like, don't ask me anything about PvE because I don't know much about it in Mist of Pandaria. I might do some PvE though, like really limited PvE. I'm not going to do too much. But if I have time, I will be for sure doing PvE. Because I think it's also quite good to do those contents and see, like, as a whole the game and how it is. He did just chain lightning and like wrecked us all. We're playing versus a pre-made, if I'm not mistaken, but like I think that's a pre-made. I'm from the champion circle, so I did see a few people from it. Man, that's like terrible, man. Ember tap, Ember tap, Ember tap. You see my HP? Nobody healed me, huh? Only myself. Only Ember tapped. Okay, Chaos Bolt here and die. Bye. Can someone? Alright, cool. So I did heal me pretty, like, this is a lot of healing. This is crazy healing to me. Like, he didn't heal too much on me. He didn't need it too, so that's I need to just get a bit of burning embers, also just to be able to sustain myself. I'm gonna break Healing Tide, just in case. Okay. I have also my Grimoire of Sacrifice back online. Billy Butcher. I did silence him now. Chaos Bolt is going to land. No, it was on the... Man, that's annoying. That's really annoying. Like, he gets healed also, so it's really hard to do anything here. I don't know if I want to post like 2 BGs. Maybe I'm going to post like 1 BG. This is going to be a loss, but I pop CDs. Dark Soul Insanity. Boom. Now, I don't know how much damage I actually did because the Chaos Ball didn't go through. Once we have like backdraft also affecting, it's going to help a lot. That's annoying. Like they are pre-mates from my guild. Unfortunately, I am not playing pre-made right now. I should do if I really want to get my back. Stunned. Annoying. Wow. Everyone is on me. GG's. But yeah, I'm going to leave this video at that. I'll be trying to make more videos about a few classes, specs here and there, if possible. Obviously, like, this is like going to be a destruction. Like, it's going to be very, very hard to do anything in this BG. We did get lighthouse, but we lose mines, so that's unfortunate. But anyways, thank you for watching the video. Really appreciate you. Hopefully, I did give you a bit of a preview of Mistweaver Destruction Warlock, why you should play it, why you should not play it. There is a few things, like, again, it's a caster that needs to cast a lot. Like, you cannot really rely only on conflags to do damage. You cannot rely on shadow burn because it's only like whenever they're low HP that you can actually do that. So yeah, it's either you play around it and you know it, or you don't and you're gonna suffer. Like, he's going to just, like, again, rush onto me. Going to be very annoying. Man, he loves going for me. That's really annoying. But anyways, thank you for watching. Have a great day. Bye.